What's up, people? Ronan back again with another video. Today, Ronan's Garage. We are going to change the M.A.S airflow sensor. It's still working. The old one's still working. The one on the car now is still functioning. But this car has been sitting up for a while before we purchased it 2 years ago. And the first year we had it, what did we change? There was an oil leak. I don't remember where the oil was coming from. A gasket. I'm assuming it's a gasket. Family member had the car, and they came into some money, working. They gave me the car, and they got them another car. So, the car's been in the family for 2-3 years now. Anyway, it cost us $700 to take care of that problem. I don't want to spend another $700 to take care of a problem on my car unless I absolutely have to. And that's why I say, about the car sitting up as long as it was, wherever it was, I don't know. It's accumulated rust. Parts are not working properly, if they're even working at all. So that brings us to the present. The back brakes are not working properly. I'm assuming it's because of caliber bolt. I was going to change the rotors, and the bolts are seized for the rotor platelet bracket, the rotor bracket. So I'll probably end up taking it to the shop. As far as other components on the vehicle, you know me, I'm going to try to do as much as I can before I have to take it to the shop. That's just the way I am. So today, as I said, we're going to change the M.A.S airflow sensor. This particular sensor is located in the hose coming from the engine to the air filter box. Now, for the Chevy Malibu 2012, it's on the passenger side. Not all vehicles are the same, so I would trace from the air filter box back. It shouldn't be too far. So, since like I said, a lot of these parts are rusted out, corroded, they're barely working or they're not working at all. And in most cases, people don't realize that something's wrong until it just completely fails or something else goes bad. Then you get a cold, engine cold, and now you got to try to find what that is. Then you got to go try to buy the part. And if you can't buy the part, you got to take it to the shop. That's too much. Too much. So, since this particular vehicle is almost 10 years old, I've decided to do a little refreshing, if you will. So, this, if I can get it out of the package, this is a M.A.S airflow sensor. It's got one connector, And I'm gonna say the actual air sensor is right there, right freaking there. So it sits in the housing, in the tube, in the holes connected to the air filter, and it monitors how much air is coming through. Sends a signal to the computer. Computer does its thing. Now, my problem is I do not like electrical. That's not one of my strong points when it comes to a car. I've changed the throttle body. I've checked out some videos. And it actually, the throttle body replacement started to work. And then it stopped working. And when I say stop, the car still runs, but I'm back to square one. Now, this particular throttle body on this car, on the Malibu, is electric and not mechanical. So, I'm told that there are multiple ways you can reset the computer after you change it. I'm not gonna go into detail about that right now. Maybe in a later video. However, like I said, the car is old. A lot of parts on it are corroded, rusted, half working, not working. So, for me, for what I'm gonna be doing with the car, I'm replacing everything that I can get my hands on. I plan on replacing this today, the starter, the alternator at some point. I'm changing the rotors. Yes, I'm changing the rotors too. You should change your rotors, but when I say I'm changing the rotors, I'm going to change the rotors to a different style of rotors. That's going to be in another video. Back to this though. So, I know I haven't shown you the engine, but you've seen the engine in previous videos. You gotta go through that. Now, another thing that I was happy to find out, this thing comes with brand new screws. On the downside, it's not the same style screw heads that are in the old one. Oh crap. Take my gloves off to get this out because those gloves are for gripping, not doing intricate work. Ooh. So I'm telling the guy at the parts store I need a M.A.S. airflow sensor. He was like, yeah, I think we got one. It's like, yeah, and it comes with the new screws. I'm like, what? New screws? But the heads are different. I'm like, and before I could ask him, he said, yeah, and there's this tool inside so you can change the screws out. Sweet. They thought of everything. So, the two screws, the tool, and the part for under $80. Nice. Because I really didn't want to have to spend $100. I had it, but I didn't want to have to spend it. So, that being said, we're going to take that old part off real quick and see if oh yeah, by the way, I took the old one off yesterday. I tried to clean it up a little bit, so we'll see if it actually worked. Okay, so we got the old part off. Yep. That's about the same. Now, with some components, they tend to change the style or the housing design, but it should still resemble what you're taking off. If it's like completely different, then yeah, that's the wrong part or the wrong year part or something. It's not the right part, period. Okay. So I sprayed it down a little bit, hoping that I wouldn't mess it up even worse. Man, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Almost looks brand new. On the inside, anyway. On the outside, yeah, you can tell it's old. Alright then. Let's slap this bad boy on. Alright now. Now, some people might tell you to go ahead and take the whole air filter box off, and yeah, well, yeah, that's the proper way of doing it, but no, not gonna do that. So, this piece will go into this slot right here. I don't actually have a screwdriver for this special part, but I do have something that I can utilize in the meantime, and I'll just have to MacGyver it. If I get in, I'm gonna have to block this shot real quick. So we ran into a little problem. The old screw is at a point, and these screws are flat. Oh, my disappointment! I dropped it down in the engine compartment somewhere. So now I have to try to figure out how to get a flat screw into a housing that was designed for one with a point. See, that's the part I don't like about having to buy replacement parts, especially aftermarket parts, is when they change stuff around and it's like, at first glance, it looks like what you need. But then when you get ready to install it, it's either a couple of centimeters too big or too small. So I got this small hole in there, and I gotta get this. Excuse me. The part fits. There's nothing wrong with the part. That goes in there like that. Like so. Then you put your connectors on there, push the little safety pin down, and you put your screws in. And therein lies the problem. Because the screw won't fit in there. And I don't know how to get it in there. So I end up having to take this darn thing off anyway. I said I wasn't going to do that, but sometimes you can't always keep promises. So, I don't know how long this is going to take because I wasn't prepared for this. So I have to find a tool that's going to allow me to widen this piece up. Well, not this piece, but widen the housing up where the screw goes into so I can screw it in. Or I'll have to improvise. Excuse me. So, rather than drag this on, at least now you know where the M.A.S. airflow sensor is located on the mountable. And you pretty much have an idea of how to change it. Questions, comments, down below. I will talk to you later.